Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Folks, welcome into Free Money Football. It is where you come to get your bets to make some money on Sundays, and everyone knows that it is absolutely one of those days on Sunday right now, and it is a perfect time to make some money. I'm your host, Ty B. We got Meerkat and we got Stevie joining me yet again. Stevie, week 10, the NFL is crossing that halfway point of the regular season now, and we're getting into that back half of the year. We're getting into the playoff push. How you feeling looking at these lines?
I mean, the lines are not too bad this week. There's a lot I like, but right now it's kind of weird because usually at this point in the season, we kind of figure out teams. We figure out which teams are the contenders, which teams are the pretenders, and there's a lot of just teams in the middle right now that we really don't know too much about. As we saw last week, when we start hyping up teams, they have some of their biggest disappointments all year, with the Cowboys losing to the Broncos, getting destroyed at home, the Bills going to Jacksonville and their offense just becoming stagnant. So I'm very curious to see this week which teams will bounce back, which teams will show that, they're contenders. Because, guys, we're more than halfway through the season. It's time for teams to make the playoff push. It's time for them to make, to show us they're a Super Bowl contender. And right now, we really haven't seen much of that outside of probably the Cardinals.
Yep, absolutely. Meerkat, the season is starting to play itself out, and it's proving that any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. And Vegas came back with a vengeance last week, absolutely crushing pretty much everyone. Most of us, I think, got beat up on our game props, but I think we were hitting pretty much on most of our player props and everything, which is good. It's a good sign still. So
yeah,
we're finding some value. We're finding some money, Meerkat. What are you looking at in week 10 here? What's the big storyline for you?
I mean, I'm going from loving all of my plays yesterday, because I make all my plays Saturday afternoon, get my notes ready and stuff, to hating them today with some of these injury confirmations and stuff we're getting coming out, lines moving rapidly, seeing some public money coming in on some stuff I like. It scares me, but I'm going to kick things off, with a three-team parlay, teaser, 6-point teaser, the classic Meerkat teaser. I'm taking all these lines straight up, but with how things are going, I'm buying myself a little insurance for you guys, and there's good value there, plus 150. It's the Colts -4 versus the Jags, the Bills -6 versus the Jets, and the Bucks -3 versus the Washington football team. I like the Bills by a TD at least today versus Mike White. They have the best pass defense in the league, should cause some troubles, get some turnovers, and it's a get-right game for them. The Bucks are 5-1 against the spread following a loss their past 7, and Washington football team is bad. I'm done betting on this team, and their defense is awful. Buck spread has, a massive amount of the handle right now with a crazy amount of action on it. So there's some smart money there. And the Colts just need a win. They need to gain ground in this AFC South. I think the Titans start to sputter at some point, and this is the type of game you got to come out, win. People are overhyping the Jags after last week, and Jonathan Taylor has been on absolute tear right now versus a Jacksonville defense that's allowed 10 rushing touchdowns in 8 games. Love this teaser.
Absolutely love that there, Meerkat. And I'm going to go to the Meerkat well of betting, and that's with the Cleveland Browns getting into Foxborough to take on the Patriots in this one. I think the Browns are a better overall team. We saw what they did last week when OBJ isn't out there, and for some reason, all of Baker's 350-plus passing yard games have come, all of them except for one, have come with OBJ not there, and the one where OBJ was there, he didn't even have a target, which is crazy to me. So when you look at that, you see what they've done rushing the ball. It doesn't matter who's in the backfield. Wyatt Teller and co are just bulldozing people. And looking at the Patriots, yes, Matt Jones has played well lately, but you play a defense that can play with a ton of exotic styles because they have a bunch of pieces. They can move around and plug and play anywhere. They have a defensive line that can get after you. Myles Garrett is ready to add more headstones to his graveyard last year. So Mac Jones needs to be ready. I wouldn't be surprised if his head is left on the field at some point today for Myles Garrett with a clothesline coming around the edge. I just like the Browns in this one, especially with some of these injuries we're hearing about, in the Patriots backfield. What's really helped them lately is they've been able to run the ball and really use those running backs in the passing game to help Mac Jones, and not having, your bell cow back, Damian Harris, and then Ramondre Stevenson likely to play, but also coming off of a concussion. So, didn't really practice all week until the very end of the week. So who knows how well he even feels. So, removing all that from that Patriots offense, what's been Mac Jones' safety blanket, and with the front seven the Browns have, they should be able to shut down Bill Belichick and whatever he can try to develop up here. I like the Cleveland Browns in this one a lot, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually going to be my first play too. The Browns. I think they're just
plus 115.
I think they're just a better team than the Patriots. I think Baker Mayfield is a better version of Mac Jones, and like you said, with the injury to Damian Harris, that is the Patriots kind of like. That's their offense right there. That's how they form their offense. Damian Harris has had touchdowns in 5 straight games. He's what makes Mac Jones able to, get the reads he does on the play action. And without that, it's going to be tough. Ramondre Stevenson, yeah, he's shown flashes of being a good running back, but he's also a rookie running back, and he's going against the 3rd best rush defense in football. So I love the Browns there, Ty. My first play feels a little chalky, but I do not care. I'm taking the Packers -3 against the Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers has cleared the COVID protocols. He's going to play, and he has a fully healthy receiving core. In the last 3 seasons, the Packers are 33-6 in games Aaron Rodgers has started, and they've won 28 of those games by more than 3 points. Aaron Rodgers has been a cover machine lately, and the Packers have been one of the best teams in the NFL when he plays. I love it going against a very, very bad Seahawks pass defense, which I believe allows like the 4th most passing yards per game at 280. The Packers should be able to shred this defense, and the line is kind of fair because Russell Wilson is expected to play. I just think the Packers are an overall better team than the Seahawks. I think they're going to be able to move the ball at will against this team, and Rodgers with a field goal, give me that all day, every day. Packers -3.
Yeah, I'm also on the Packers. I teased them down to 2.5. It's still -130. It's fine odds for me. I think this is going to be a tight game. Seahawks have been, covering despite not having Russell Wilson, and I love Russell Wilson. But pardon?
Was Chris Carson activated today?
I can't hear you.
Was Chris Carson activated?
I don't believe Chris Carson's activated. I could be wrong there, but they've still been getting decent production with, Alex Collins and these guys out of the backfield.
He's not going to get activated.
Yeah, he's not. Okay, so yeah, Alex Collins not, but Russell Wilson's back. You're going to see Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf finally, get use how they're supposed to. Gerald Everett probably in the mix a bit, but I still like Green Bay. They covered even with Jordan Love last week, making his first NFL start. They're 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 right now, and the Seahawks defense has been abused on the ground this year for almost 130 yards a game. We've seen the Packers, really using both Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon to the best of their abilities and situations when they need them. Both, I think, are going to be in the mix today for this offense that I don't see Green Bay not scoring, 30 points at least today. Not saying Seattle's not going to be scoring, even though Green Bay's defense is a bit underrated right now. But I just like you brought it up. It feels chalky, but how can you not take Aaron Rodgers? It's kind of like a fuck you to the rest of the NFL after all of his immunization stuff and all that comes out. He's that just type of asshole dude that's going to deals with this stuff, misses a week because of it, and he's going to come out and drop 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as long as he's been doing more than a little bit of at-home yoga and walking, I think he'll be fine. He doesn't have to do a ton of athletic running around, whatnot at the quarterback position. When you're Aaron Rodgers, you have that cannon of an arm. So that'll be something to watch. It should be at least a very, very fun game nonetheless. But my next pick here, I'm picking another team to bounce back here, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Got this one at 7.5. Already moved to 8 on DraftKings. Simple reason, yet again. One, I do actually believe in the Cowboys, but number 2, fuck the Falcons. They still suck. I hate them. I don't believe in them. I don't think they have enough weapons. Cowboys defense was exposed a bit there in the rushing game, but they've done enough against the pass. They've caused enough turnovers and such. Trayvon Diggs does get shredded up for like 3 quarters, but then comes up with a big interception, and everyone says he has a great game, which is fine, but it's going to bite you in the ass at some point when you play a team that can actually throw the ball. But that's not the Falcons. They don't really have the weapons there through the air. Obviously, Kyle Pitts has really taken a step forward. For Darrell Patterson, playing that running back receiver hybrid has been interesting.
It's hard.
But I think he's going to run the ball all over the Cowboys today. If he's going to get more involved, I think it would be more in a hybrid style of play there. But I like the Cowboys to come back, and with the line moving that way, I think the public is all over it as well. So you might want to get that one and move it under 7, get that at 6.5. If you got that early in the week, you're probably real happy about that one. But like I said, I still trust Dak. I still trust what they can do running the ball as well. Between Zeke and Tony Pollard, you have a ton of weapons in the passing game. They should be able to put up big points here against the Falcons defense, Stevie.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I am. I've retired the Falcons. I love fading the Falcons. I think this is a great spot, too, because everyone just saw what the Cowboys just got waxed at home by the Broncos. I mean, they're like, maybe the Cowboys are getting exposed. This Falcons team sucks. I think the Cowboys should move the ball well on them. I'm going with another 3-point favorite for my second play. I'm going with the Chargers -3 against the Vikings. When Meerkat and I talked about this show on Wednesday, it was more so kind of, we weren't really sure what side we liked, because I like Kirk Cousins. I like the Vikings team. I think they're a better team than 3-5. I think Kirk Cousins is a solid QB, but it's no secret that the Vikings have just been blowing leads all year long. They're 2-5 in one-score games this year. They've blown 3 to 4 leads that they've had in the second half already. And the Chargers have been quite the opposite. They haven't been your typical Chargers where they just can't win close games. They've actually figured it out. It helps because they have a good head coach now, and they have a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert, who's been lighting it up this year, over 2,300 yards, 18 touchdowns already. And the spread is at 3. I'll lay the 3. I think the Chargers win this game. They already have 4 fourth-quarter winning drives this year. The Chargers have been playing really well late in games, and the Vikings have been quite the opposite. I think the Vikings may get out to an early lead like they have been known to so far this year, but I expect this Chargers team to really kind of come back and move the ball at will. They've been scoring a lot of points in the second half this year, and that's perfect because the Vikings allow the 5th most yards in the NFL this season, and they've been getting lit up in the second half by opposing teams. I think Herbert's a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. I think the Chargers are a better team than the Vikings. Give me the Chargers -3. Feels a little chalky, but you know what? I don't care. I guess I'm going with a little bit chalk today.
I love my Chargers, but like I'm so terrified to take them today. I'm kind of just avoiding that one in general. Mm-hmm. I'm going in step with Ty B, though. I'm on the Cowboys too. I got them at 7.5. I'll take them at 8. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, and I felt like this was kind of chalky too, like heading into it. And then when you look at the numbers, the Falcons have over 40% of the Falcons spread has over 40% of the bets, but like 15% of the handle. This is avoid, fade that play all day territory. Fuck the public and fuck the Falcons. The Falcons aren't good. I don't know why they keep getting respect from the public and the books. Sometimes some of these lines they get, we talked about it last week, are just absurd. They don't deserve them. And the Cowboys was an outlier last week. I hate the Cowboys. I was fading the Cowboys to start the season. I was wrong. I will admit that. It was a complete outlier, anomaly type game. I don't see them repeating that type of performance. They should be able to get at least something going on the ground. Now you got CD, Amari, and Zeke all 100% ready to go today. It might not be 100%, but they're ready to go. They're playing, no question marks there in the offense, and it's just one of those games. You got to fade the Falcons here. The number's a little big. It's like, my teaser plays. I want to get some insurance, but I actually do like the Cowboys by 2 scores today.
Yep, say it with me, boys. Fuck the Falcons.
Fuck the Falcons.
Absolutely. Love it, Meerkat. So my next play here, I'm going to look at this Lions-Steelers game. Steelers are going to be without Chase Claypool in this one. Obviously, Juju's been out. So I'm looking at, an anytime score. I'm looking for, a receiver. Nope, not a receiver. Going with a tight end, and that's Pat Freiermuth, plus 150 here in this one. He's scored 3 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks, gotten 6+ targets. in each of the last 3 weeks, being used in a much bigger role. You've heard even their coaches talking about how, yes, Eric Ebron's going to be back, but that doesn't matter. Fryermuth has developed. He's grown into a bigger role. He's going to still be used. He's going to get his targets. He's going to get his looks. They really love what they have in him. So I think he's going to continue to get some targets here in this one. No Big Ben. Who cares? Throw it to your big white target. The easiest thing to see out there on the field, the easiest thing to throw to Pat Fryermuth, especially once you get in the red zone. So I love that one for a touchdown today, Stevie, against the Lions.
Yeah, I'm a huge Pat Fryermuth fan. I picked him up in a few fantasy leagues a couple weeks ago, and it's been aging greatly so far. So I love that. I'd be happy for him to score a touchdown with the way my roster's look this week.
I have Mark Andrews, Mike Gesicki, and Fryermuth in our train wreck league, so I don't know what else going on, man. People are sleeping in there.
Yeah. So I'm going to give out a touchdown, but it's a touchdown little prop parlay here. We got 2 to score a touchdown. The first leg of it is Jonathan Taylor against the Jaguars. I think that's free. Jonathan Taylor has a touchdown in 6 straight games, 9 touchdowns overall. Last year against the Jaguars, 340-plus total yards and 2 scores. The Jaguars defense played the game of their lives last week. It's not going to happen again. They are susceptible to the run, and they're going to get shredded by Taylor, who's been the hottest running back in football in the past month. And then I'm pairing that with Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's playing, and he's playing against a Chargers defense, which is the worst defense in football at stopping the run. They allow 161 yards per game, and they've allowed 9 rushing touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. You put Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor, 2 guys very likely to score a touchdown together, it's plus 138 odds. I love that today. You're going against 2 bad run defenses with 2 elite running backs. Give me that all day. Yeah?
Breaking news, Starlet Tulete's got the vid.
Yep. He's out. Not good. Not good, folks. But we still ride with the Bills. It doesn't matter.
Especially because Justin Zimmer was just placed on season IR. But we're fine. We're fine. Rousseau and Boogie have the versatility to slide in and play a 3 technique. So
yeah. This is the type of stuff you're fine with when you keep fucking 15 defensive linemen on your roster every year. But, talking about something that's also not good, it's my next play. It's not good. I don't like it. I have to take it. It's my last stand this week play. I did it last week on the Browns. It worked. I love them again. This team needs to win back my love by covering this week. And the line is all over the place right now. It's the Lions. I got it at 8.5. It's at 5.5 now after the Roethlisberger news over the past, 12 hours that line has shifted. Now, I'm still going to play it safe with you folks. I'm going to tell you to tease it down to plus 7. I still think they're fine by a touchdown. I like them by more than a touchdown at plus 8 still. And, minus 135. You got okay odds there. The Steelers should not be favored by more than a touchdown against anybody, even with Roethlisberger. This team doesn't blow teams out. Mike Tomlin plays down to his competition all the time, especially at home, where the Steelers just do not cover. They're 0-7 in their last 7 home games against the spread, which is terrible. The Lions they're 4-4 against the spread. Now, the Steelers should be able to move the ball a bit with Najee. They got Pat Fryermuth. I'm not saying they don't have weapons. I'm not saying the Steelers don't win, but the Lions, I think, keep this close. They just need to win at some point. They need to win for me at some point. I've taken them, I think, all 8 games so far for them now, 9 games, whatever the hell it's been, and they're starting to get healthy.
One of us has been on them each week.
Yeah, and now they're starting to get healthy. Taylor Lewan's back, which is huge for that offensive line. DeAndre Swift, we brought up. It's first time all year he's not carrying a questionable injury designation. He's 100%. Jamal Williams is 100%. Trey Flowers is 100%. These guys have been playing with injuries, dealing with stuff. They're big parts of this team. If Jared Goff can just be competent, dump it off to, Cephas, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Swift, give him 20 targets today. The Lions could end up with a win.
They very well could. I absolutely like that there, Stevie. Or Meerkat. I'm looking at Stevie because I'm looking down at the bottom of my screen. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that if the Lions are going to break through, this is the perfect opportunity for them. But I'm going back to one of my wells. It's a blind well. I don't give a fuck what the lines are. Hunter Renfrow, Over on receptions. They're playing the Chiefs secondary today. Chiefs secondary couldn't stop a paper bag from flying around in the air. Um, it's easy. Renfro is cashed every week but one on the over on receptions, and in that week he had one reception less than the over. He's had the targets every week to get the over. They bumped it up to 5.5. He had no problem last week. Went down, got a touchdown on the opening drive, and had a nice solid little day there. And he's just going to be their go-to target. They didn't get Odell Beckham. They're not adding any more receivers to that offense. So what do you have to do? You have to go to what works. You have to go to who's been consistent for you. And if you're Derek Carr, that means you're looking Hunter Renfro's way a ton. You know exactly where he's going to be, and you know you can rely on him to get you those 5, 7 yard, 8 yard catches that you need on third and 6, 3rd and 7. He's going to be that guy to get those conversions. He's very similar to, what Cole Beasley is to the Bills offense at times when they're meticulating and moving the ball down the field, especially when Josh Jacobs hasn't been overly efficient this season. You know, how you expand out of that running game, that's those quick hit passes, especially to Hunter Renfrow. So I like the over again for him, Stevie.
Yeah, I mean, I love Hunter Renfrow, especially since that Ruggs injury. He's became even more involved.
It's been incredible.
Yeah, since Ruggs has been out there, he's been even more involved. Hunter Renfro's been he's been a set it and forget it guy in fantasy. You just plug him in your lineup, he gets you 10 to 15 points. You don't have to worry about it. I'm going with a kind of gross player prop as my last pick today. We're going with a Packers receiver, but it's not Devontae Adams. I'm going Allen Lazard over 29 receiving yards. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. You got Aaron Rodgers, who's coming back after everything. He's going to have a good game. He's going to throw for over 300 yards against this bad Seahawks defense, which I talked about. They're allowing 274 yards a game. They're going to get shredded. He's got a fully healthy receiving core. And you got Russell Wilson on the other side, who's going to at least score some points. He'll keep this game close. He always does. He always keeps Packers Seahawks close. So a lot of points means a lot of yards. And I think Allen Lazard is the second best receiver in this receiving core. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he stinks. I don't care. He was starting over Lazard earlier in the year. Then he got hurt. Lazard, I don't know if he stole his job, but he at least had a role. In the 2 weeks before with Rodgers, he had 11 targets, 87 yards. And then this past week, he only had one target, but he ran 35 routes, and it was a 20-yard touchdown he caught with Jordan Love at quarterback, who was horrible all week. 29 yards can happen in 2 catches. It really can. It could happen in 1 catch. And I think Lazard will be on the field for the majority of the snaps in the receiving core. I think Cobb's got the slot locked down. Adams is obviously the number 1, but I think Lazard is better than Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and I think he will play more snaps than Marquez Valdes-Scantling this week. 29 yards is just too low to be the number 2 or number 3 receiver in an Aaron Rodgers-led offense against a bad bottom 5 pass defense. I'll take that all day. It's at minus 115 over 29 yards.
Yeah, and who had COVID? Allen Lazard and Aaron Rodgers. That means they were probably hanging out. Guess who didn't have COVID? Marquez Valdes-Scantling. That means he's going to be throwing to Lazard.
He can't catch anything. He couldn't catch anything. He'll never catch COVID.
Yeah.
Jesus. My last play, I didn't like the Lions play. I hate this play. I don't enjoy giving this play out to you. Every week we've seen multiple teams that have no right covering or no right winning doing it. And this week, I think it's the Saints versus the Titans. I'm taking the Saints +3 versus the Titans. And there's a little bit of sharp action there. It's just 20% around bets on the Saints, but over 30% of the handle, which is a good little indicator there. But still, I'm fading the Titans regardless. I don't care if this is a big public play. I'm going to keep fading this team. They need to come back down to earth. I've been saying it for weeks. They are not this good. I can't admit it. I don't know if they actually are, but I refuse to acknowledge it. And they looked decent without Henry last week. That's not going to be sustainable. Now Julio is definitely out. I think they put him on IR.
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, they put him on IR. And Trevor Siemian has been bad in his 2 stints the past 2 weeks. Last week he was actually pretty damn good. And the Titans defense is awful. And Taysom Hill getting more packages. I'm not a Taysom Hill guy, but he needs to be used in this offense when you don't have Alvin Kamara available to you. And Sean Payton said we have a lot more packages, new stuff ready to go for Taysom. So Simeon could be competent. I know me and Stevie talked on fantasy. We like some of the Saints receivers this week. You get competent Simeon, you get an exciting gadgety Taysom Hill thing here or there, and good Saints defense. I think this is a big upset spot where the Titans finally come back down to earth, where they can't move the ball at all on the ground against the best rush defense in the league, allowing 3.3 yards a carry right now in the Saints defense. You're not going to get that with Jeremy McNichols. I'm telling you that right now. You only have A.J. Brown when, Julio, even if he's banged up playing, lets A.J. Brown eat. It's just A.J. Brown now. This is a big upset spot. I don't love the play. But I am taking it.
Are you worried about no Kamara?
That's what I'm saying. I think Mort Hill can kind of supplement that. But Mark Ingram is, 28 yards from the Saints' all-time rushing record over Deuce McAllister right now. He is RB1 heading into today. He is enthusiastic to be out of Houston. If he's got anything left in the tank, it's coming out today where he's going to set the Saints' all-time rushing record. He's got to have all eyes on him. It's his chance to stand up for his city that just brought him back. I think this is a big spot for Mark Ingram today. Might even I don't even know his numbers for player props. I'm taking them. I'm throwing that in there now. We're taking Mark Ingram over on rushing yards today. Saints are winning by 40.
Two plus rushing touchdowns. Make sure you hammer it. Put your 401k on it. I like it a lot. Hate that play so much, Meerkat, that I love it now because
that's the thing. I hate it so much. I like it. Every week there's this type of play.
Yeah, it's like public. It's a cheat trap. It's like Titans -3 versus fucking Trevor Simeon. No, you're gonna lose that one. I like that, Meerkat. And this is a play that I hate as well. Can they finally figure something out? Can they finally get right? I don't know, but I think this game is going to be an absolute boat race between the Chiefs and the Raiders, and I think the Chiefs take the lead going into half. So I'd like Chiefs -2.5 to lead the first half there. Because like I said, I think it's going to be a shootout there. Like, give me like a 28-24 lead going into half, something like that. Get a nice little cover, or 21-18. I don't know, something like that. I think, you're going to see a bunch of points. You're going to see both those quarterbacks kind of throw the ball all over the yard. Neither team can really stop the pass. So I think that's going to be a very, very fun game to watch, at least as a fan.
Breaking news, I have placed a 1-unit bet on Mark Ingram over 55.5 rushing yards.
I don't hate that. No, I don't hate that number. I don't hate the number, though. 55? Not bad.
Throw it on my card.
Absolutely, and that's why you guys tune into Free Money Football, because we find the money on stuff like that. Meerkat talked himself into it, and look, it was a great freaking play. And that thing is going to be cash, and I think it's going to cash in the first half. I have a great feeling about it, Meerkat. So make sure you guys continue following us over at Degenerate Zone on Twitter. Make sure you guys subscribe and like if you're watching over on YouTube, so you guys know whenever we're going live, releasing new videos, anything like that, because we have tons more content. Stevie's always putting out picks for college football, college basketball. I think we're going to be rolling back with some episodes of DDZ throughout the week now that we're kind of slowing down a little bit with all this other stuff going on. So I can't wait to do some more of that. Make sure you guys get over to trainwrecksports.com, where we have a ton of content coming out all the time. I know Meerkat's been working on a big one that I can't wait to read, because I've seen a bunch of the pictures he put in there on it, and I was absolutely dying. So I know everyone's going to love that one. And, tons of UB coverage with them starting their seasons up in basketball. Even St. Bonaventure, which is looking to have a historic season, as they're already ranked in the top 25. So make sure you guys look out for all that. Stevie, any last words as we head into NFL Sunday Week 10?
Let's get a big Bills bounce back win. Last Sunday was horrible. Let's get a big bounce back win for the Bills. And you know what? Maybe they carry that momentum for my Rams to beat the fraudulent 49ers. They're not even frauds. They just stink on Monday night. Let's get a nice little victory Sunday for the Buffalo Bills against our favorite Mike White.
Yes, sir.
Meerkat, how you feeling? Mike White, Rob Ryan already talking that shit. What are you thinking?
After last week, we should be a little worried, and some of the wins the Jets have, pulled off this year. But I'm not worried. Bills by 2 scores, folks. I mean, Mike White against this Bills defense. Mike White's a good story. I have him in our dynasty league with me and Ty. I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit, but I think the Bills are going to be fine today. I think on the cap earlier this week, I predicted like a 33-17 score, something like that. Bills are going to cover. Jets might get a little points. There's going to be a lot of points in this one, though. Just hopefully all from the Bills.
Yeah, over 47.5, Meerkat. You're not a totals guy. You're not a totals guy.
If I was, I would be looking at that over 47.5,
All
thinking,
right.
man,
You
that's
heard
a
it.
low number.
I love it.
That's a low number.
That's a low price.
Wow, that's a low number. Absolutely, I do kind of like that. I don't think Mike White's throwing over 400 yards. Get that man out of here. And sorry, Rob Ryan, they're going to get absolutely shellacked. Go check out Brother Bills' video to know what's going to happen. We're going to punt that Jersey Mike sub 50 yards probably at least, and we're going to beat that ass. We are New York's only football team and the best around, the Buffalo Bills, baby. So again, shout out to everyone who tuned in. We'll be back again on Wednesday previewing the lines for Week 11, and then here on Sunday breaking down our best bets yet again. And stay tuned to the Degenerate Zone on Twitter for more content throughout the week. Start with some huge plays, getting up over 20 units. Hopefully, you can continue to
Hopefully.
All right, that'll do it for Meerkat, Stevie, and myself, Ty B. Make sure you get out there, go to the creek, go call your bets in, go text your bets in, do whatever you got to do. Go get that free money. Mobile betting is coming soon to New York, so build that bankroll up. Good night now.